July 26, 2011, and what I'm kneeling beside here is one of the many palm species we grow here in our garden on Salt Spring Island, Canada. This is a Rhapidophyllum hystrix, or a needle palm is the common name. Native to the southeastern United States. They usually grow in habitat. You'll find them growing in deciduous hardwood forests in dappled light or shade. However, at this latitude, 48 degrees north here on the southwest coast of Canada, they will take full sun. I have this one in part shade to full sun. When the sun comes around through those trees, it beats down on this thing. I planted this one, I guess, around 2001, and it's 2011 now, so it's been here about a decade. And they do grow quite a bit slower at this northern latitude, and but does quite fine here in our climate. Our winters would never ever get cold enough to kill this palm tree, so never have to worry about that. It's a clumping palm, so they don't form a massive, like a tall trunk like a Trachycarpus fortunei. They do form a bush, like sucker. They form offsets to form a bush, like a Chamaerops humilis. So this one here has quite a few offsets on it, and it's growing quite nicely. I would say pretty much on neglect. I water it and fertilize it once in a blue moon, and it seems to be quite happy. They call it a needle palm because it does have long needles coming off the trunk, so I guess harvesting seed on this one day is going to be quite tricky, if it ever does get seed. There are a few other ones on Salt Spring Island. There's one near our main town, and it does flower every year, but I've never seen seed on it, so perhaps two palms are needed to produce seed. One of my favorite palms, just because it isn't common in this area, and very tricky to find in a nursery. Matter of fact, I don't think there's any local nurseries that'll sell needle palms up this way. Not too far away, I have a Sable Minor growing, which is another very cold tolerant palm. The most cold these have I heard of surviving is minus 29 degrees Celsius below zero. So that we don't have to worry about on Salt Spring Island, because if we got that cold here on Salt Spring, it would kill probably some of the native vegetation as well. So I will grab that camera and I'll give you a close-up look at the needle palm and how it's doing here on Salt Spring Island. And I'm quite pleased with it. And at this slow rate, it's going to be forever before it reaches, you know, anywhere like 6 feet in height or so. Like down in the deep south, there's needle palms that are 8 or 9 foot in height, but it takes years even that far south and with that much heat. So I'll be long gone and pushing up the daisies before this thing starts to look like a huge specimen. But you know what? I'll enjoy it at this size, and as it grows slowly in our climate here. I don't protect it. Don't need to protect it here because it, like I say, doesn't get cold enough. Grab this camera and I'll give you a close-up look at the trunk and the top of this needle palm. So there's the needle palm. Then looking down here, I got the camera zoomed in a little bit. You can see some of the suckers. These are offsets, and there's more, and a lot of them coming off the bottom. There's the trunk. Give you an idea. I got quite large hands, but there's the trunk on the needle palm, and it's full of spines, as you can see right there. You don't want to get jabbed by one of those things. Quite stiff fronds too. And there's more suckers coming off the bottom of it, so it's producing lots of offsets. So that's how it does here on Salt Spring Island on the southwest coast of Canada, Rhapidophyllum hystrix, and that is one of my favorite palms, and very easy to grow.